The year 2024 is already proving to be a historic milestone, with events that have already occurred and others that are yet to come, raising considerable concerns. What if I told you that, in addition to the Bible, there is a person who, before passing away, wrote some of these prophecies, many of which are yet to be fulfilled in 2024? Michael Denrus, a 16th-century French philosopher notorious for his accurate predictions, predicted the death of Queen Elizabeth in 2022 and even the age of artificial intelligence, which dominates discussions today. This extraordinary seer was noted for predicting significant events, including the tragic deaths of the Kennedy brothers, the decline of Napoleon, the attacks on the Twin Towers, and the rise of an authoritarian regime in Germany in the early 16th century. In a modern time lacking prophets with the ability to predict the future with such precision, Nostradamus' legacy remains shrouded in mystery, profoundly influencing collective perception. Immersed in the study of various esoteric currents and astrology, he used his vast knowledge to explore the mysteries of the future. Among its many predictions are some intriguing prophecies for the year 2024, offering a glimpse of possible developments on the global stage. So what did Nostradamus predict about war in 2024? Are we on the verge of witnessing another pandemic? What was your life like, and how did it end? Join us as we explore Nostradamus' prophecies and predictions for 2024 and how they affect the world. Nostradamus decided to focus all of his attention on a significant undertaking that he initially called centuries in the year 1554. This decision was made after his visions became an essential component of his work on almanacs. He intended to compose 10 books, each containing 100 predictions for the next 2,000 years. His long-range predictions were compiled in a book called Les Prophecies, published in 1555. He used quatrains, which are rhyming verses consisting of 4 lines, as well as a combination of Latin, Greek, Italian, and Provençal, a southern dialect, of France, to conceal the subject of the prophecies. His fear of being persecuted for his religious beliefs is possible, but the fact that Nostradamus got along well with the Vatican is intriguing. Many believe that the Inquisition never prosecuted him for heresy because he did not use his works to perform magic. After information about him spread, he became one of the most well-known figures of the Renaissance period through his prophecies. Nostradamus was responsible for great controversy. Some believed he was working for the devil, while others thought he was a fraudster or madman. On the other hand, a significant number of people believed that predictions were the result of divine forces. Now, let's analyze the 12 predictions made by Nostradamus for 2024. Stay until the end, as the last one is the scariest of all. So that you can understand more clearly and quickly the signs that surround us in challenging times like the ones we are living in, it is essential to be aware of the prophecies that are being fulfilled. Many still don't realize the magnitude of what is happening around us, and that's why I decided to offer a special gift to all channel subscribers, an exclusive digital ebook entitled The Secret Behind the Holy Bible. This book is an unmissable opportunity to access impactful revelations about biblical prophecies that will open your eyes to current reality. Don't let this unique chance pass you by. The knowledge contained in this ebook could change the way you see events around you. The process to get your gift is quick and simple. Just click on the link available in the first pinned comment to download it immediately. But be careful. We only have a few units available and they are running out quickly. Don't delay your decision. Guarantee your copy now before the ebook is taken down. Take advantage of this exclusive opportunity and be prepared for what's to come. Nostradamus mentions in his book, Les Prophecies, that a major earthquake will occur off the coast of Japan this year, generating a destructive tsunami that will devastate homes and take many lives. He also warned of a great famine, resulting from a pestilential wave, which could refer to the impact of tsunamis on farmland. The accuracy of his predictions is remarkable and leaves many of us in disbelief. His prophecies have been interpreted and reinterpreted by countless individuals, scholars, and enthusiasts who attempt to uncover the secrets contained in his verses, and connect them to contemporary events. One of these prophecies is believed by some to be about the Great Fire of London in 1666. Nostradamus wrote, "The blood of the righteous will be exacted from London, burned by fire in the year 66. Interpreters suggest that this prophecy refers to the many deaths caused by fire during the Great Fire of London. Another intriguing prophecy is the reference to never-before-seen plagues, which some believe are related to the nuclear attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the end of World War II. Nostradamus's predictions for the future include events such as climate change, economic instability, health problems for world leaders, changes in religious leadership, and even possible encounters with extraterrestrial civilizations. His prophecies arouse curiosity and speculation, leading people to reflect on the fate of humanity and the events that could shape our future. While some of his prophecies have proven accurate over time, others remain subject to interpretation and debate. Yet Nostradamus' legacy as a visionary endures, challenging curious minds to explore the unknown and consider the possibilities of what lies ahead. On August 24, 1572, an event known as the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre marked the Church's persecution of astronomers, culminating in the burning of several scientists at the stake, including Giordano Bruno, who met a tragic end when he was accused of pantheism, being burned alive on February 17, 1600. The Great Fire of London, the French Revolution, the rise and fall of Napoleon Bonaparte, Hitler and Nazism, the Second World War, the end of Mussolini and also Saddam Hussein were events that had courts associated with them. And not only that, France claims to have serious problems with Islam, to the point of banning the use of the Islamic veil by women. This fact was related to the 18th quatrain of the 1st century, which says the following: "Because of French discord and negligence, an opening will arise for the Moors. The land and sea of Siena will be filled with blood, and the port of Marseille covered of ships and boats." Some believe that the conflicts that exist and that could worsen have historical ties between France and the Islamic world, and can easily be associated with this Nostradamus quatrain, indicating that he was right. Nostradamus also predicted that the Catholic Church would decline, citing the date of December 13th, which coincides with the day, not the month, that Pope John Paul I suffered an attack in the Vatican. Two of the quatrains, said to have predicted the event, read, "O vast Rome, thy ruin approaches, not that of thy walls, but of thy blood and thy substance. Wickedness will commit such an act, horror through literature, that all will be persecuted." And another, "After Montel, the Pope will lose his shine. His disgrace will come from the confluence of the sea and the Rhone because of the soldiers hiding in the forest." On December 13th, nothing more terrible happened to the throne. Muammar al-Gaddafi, former leader and dictator of Libya, was also among Nostradamus' courts. The prophet considered the dictator as the fifth Antichrist. Gaddafi died in 2011 after being captured and killed by soldiers from the National Transitional Council forces in the Battle of Sirte. The quatrain says, "The head of the powerful Libyan state in the west will come to inflame the Arabs against the French. Then a wise man will come who will translate the Arabic language into French." Some possible elements that relate this quarter to the former dictator are: Gaddafi was head of state in Libya, who had influence in the West, especially in Europe and Africa. He supported several Arab revolutionary and nationalist movements that opposed French and Western presence in the region. He was succeeded by a transitional government that received help from countries such as France to establish democracy and national reconciliation. Finally, Gaddafi was known to have an interest in French culture and language, even writing a book in French called The Green Book. Some scholars have argued that he intended to translate the Arabic language into French as a way of bringing people together. As for what Nostradamus would have predicted for 2024, there may be smoke in the Vatican's chimney this year. According to scholars of the Prophet's quatrains, the quatrain that addresses this issue says the following: "A very old pontiff will no longer be elected. A Roman of good age will succeed him. It will be said that the Holy See has been bleeding for long and mightily he will reign. The fact is that the current Pope Francis is very sick. In 2021, the pontiff underwent colon surgery, and when he was younger, he had to remove part of his lung due to a bout of pneumonia. In 2019, he underwent procedures to treat a cataract and, for many years of his life, has struggled with chronic sciatic nerve pain. In 2022, the Pope had serious problems with his knees, which made him use a cane and a wheelchair. Not in the Vatican. There is no way to appoint someone to temporarily replace Francis, since there is no vice pope. If it needs to sit for a long time, unfortunately, they will have to replace it. The Pope himself publicly admitted to having signed his resignation if he is unable to continue in office. But Nostradamus did not mention illness, but death. Will we lose the beloved cardinal this year, 2024? I sincerely hope not. There are two rather frightening quatrains that have recently come to mind, given the latest news from Eastern Europe regarding the war between Russia and Ukraine. Nostradamus scholars say that these quatrains could come true at any time, like the 81st quatrain of the 6th century, which is related to some attack that could occur in Genoa, Italy, where one of the UN headquarters is located. The quatrain reads, "Tears, screams and lamentations, howls, terror, inhuman heart, cruel, black and disturbed. Moat, the islands of Genoa, the greatest bloodshed, cold, hunger, without mercy." This quatrain is one of Nostradamus' most obscure and enigmatic, with no consensus on its meaning. Some interpreters suggest that it refers to a war or natural disaster that would affect the region of Lake Geneva, Switzerland, and the city of Genoa, Italy. Others believe it is related to the French Revolution, which occurred more than 200 years after Nostradamus' death and caused much suffering and violence in Europe. Some even see this court as a prophecy about the future that could involve an alien invasion, a nuclear attack, or a global pandemic. There are many sources claiming that we are approaching alien contact. If there are people who only see Lake Geneva as a premise for the beginning of visits by extraterrestrials, then it may be that the ufology enthusiasts are correct, and we will make contact in 2024. If we relate the quatrain to a nuclear attack, it makes more sense, since Russia and its partner North Korea have not talked about anything other than the possibility of using part of their nuclear arsenal. And it doesn't take much to know that these statements are not healthy for peace on Earth. The same applies to a new pandemic, or even the recent pandemic. The 44th quatrain of the 9th century, which is also haunting and one of Nostradamus' last before his death, says the following: "All leave the city. Inhabitants of Geneva, your golden age will turn into an age of war. He who turning against the Iranian leader will exterminate them all. Before that happens, there will be signs in the sky." Some interpreters suggest that it refers to a possible armed conflict between Iran and Switzerland, targeting the city of Geneva, home to several international organizations, especially the UN. They believe that the Iranian leader would be former President Hassan Rouhani, who allegedly threatened to attack Switzerland due to economic sanctions imposed by the European country. They also associate the signs from the sky with astronomical or meteorological phenomena that would precede the attack. However, it must be said that, yes, Switzerland is in a certain way representative of the United States with regard to nuclear weapons in Iran, since, at the personal request of former President Rouhani, during his visit to the European country in 2018, the Americans were excluded from the treaty, allowing the agreement between Iran and Switzerland to continue. Former U.S. President Donald Trump had already announced his withdrawal from Washington 2 months before Rouhani's visit to Switzerland. Nothing more serious or threatening occurred, however, in part due to the intervention of Israel, Iran's main enemy. During the World Forum in Davos, the third quatrain of the Curia brings a prediction that left many believers in Nostradamus apprehensive. It says this: "Mars and Mercury and silver will be together at noon. Great drought. An earthquake will come from Asia. Corinth, Ephesus are in perplexity." As the quatrain itself states, it predicts a major earthquake, and also a major drought when the planets Mars and Mercury are visually close together in the sky. Since mid-2022, these two planets and four others, Venus, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and Saturn, together with the Moon, are part of the same quadrant, so to speak, on the celestial map. According to astronomers, this is a rare type of alignment between these planets and the Moon, with a new occurrence predicted only for the year 2040. That said, on the first day of 2024, Japan was again hit by an earthquake and a new tsunami, which, although not as severe as the one in 2011, claimed hundreds of lives. Japan, it is worth mentioning, is part of the Asian continent. As for the great drought mentioned in the court, we can mention, for example, the drought that the Amazon suffered at the end of 2023 and at the beginning of this year. The state where the world's largest tropical forest is located went without rain for months, resulting in a historic drop in the levels of the main rivers and their tributaries. At the beginning of 2023, Italy also suffered from a water shortage, affecting even the canals of Venice, making any type of navigation impossible, including its famous gondolas. The problem detected in Venice was a combination of a lack of rain, a high atmospheric pressure system, a full moon, and ocean currents. Meanwhile, on the continent, some Italian cities have also suffered from drought, as already at the end of 2022, the Alps did not receive the normal amount of snow, which is one of the main sources of fresh water in much of Europe. Likewise, in Brazil, Italy, and other parts of the world, droughts occurred during the period in which Nostradamus would have referred to the alignment of the planets Mercury and Mars with the Moon in the same quadrant. Whether it's just a coincidence or not, I leave it to you to decide. The arrival of humans on Mars was also one of Nostradamus' predictions, which in a way has already come true, albeit indirectly. Humanity has been present on the red planet since 1997, when NASA managed to land its first rover and take direct and clear images of the Martian surface. However, it is not just with robots that ambitious and curious human beings will be satisfied in getting to know Mars. Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX, as well as Tesla and other companies, is one of the biggest supporters not only of the human presence on Mars, but also of the colonization of the neighboring planet. For years, SpaceX has been testing engines and rockets capable of landing and taking off with the aim of taking astronauts and cargo to Mars, until it is possible to have a structure that will accommodate future inhabitants and colonizers there, an ambition that many consider impossible, but which has gained strength with each new achievement in this sector. Every year, a new bet emerges, mainly from SpaceX, about sending the first astronauts to Mars. 2024 could be that year, if Nostradamus is right. A succession in the British Kingdom could occur in 2024, according to the prophet. The throne of the United Kingdom would be occupied by a man who does not have the seal of a king. That description fits Harry, King Charles' youngest son. Harry released an autobiography entitled Spare in 2023, referring to the backup son to the throne, as mentioned by Nostradamus, who would only take over if something happened to the firstborn. Unlike William, he does not have the seal of a king, as written on the court. Charles I would abdicate due to the constant attacks against him and his second wife, as it is also written, the lucky Queen Camilla Parker Bowles. However, this succession would only occur if something happened to the first in line, which is Prince William. Nothing is said, however, about the heir, but when using the expression reserve son to the throne, Nostradamus would be referring to the second and not the first son. And the Third World War, the most feared event on a global scale, would be included in one of Nostradamus' quatrains. There is more than one quatrain that refers to a man-made cataclysm, and one of them is number 83 from the 9th century, which says, "When the sun is at 20 degrees in Taurus, the earth will shake violently. The great full theater will be destroyed, darkness and disturbances in the air, heaven and earth." When the infidel cries out to God and the saints. While some say this quatrain refers to a large earthquake, others say it has something to do with the nuclear tests that North Korea has been conducting, while also threatening the United States. Another highly feared quatrain, according to the interpretations made about it, is number 77 from the 8th century. She says, "The Antichrist very soon will be annihilated. 27 years of blood will last his war." The dead heretics, exiled captives, their human body, red water will devastate the earth. This quatrain, in addition to containing a subliminal message about a terrible war, also brings the figure of the Antichrist, who according to the Bible is the precursor of the end times. I know I'm weird, but humanity has always lived on the edge of something catastrophic and threatening to life on Earth. Pandemics and waves, such as the Black Death, smallpox, and more recently COVID-19, took thousands of lives and, yes, represented the end of the world for these thousands of people, leaving mourning everywhere on the planet. We had 2 world wars that, in addition to thousands of deaths on the battlefield, also decimated thousands of Jews. We have had significant geological accidents that left scars as well as deaths when they occurred, such as the eruption of Krakatoa in 1883 and the devastating tsunami in Indonesia in 2004. Now, in the 21st century, the same factors as before appear to be the same threats today. Some major volcanoes could, in fact, erupt at any time. New earthquakes can also occur in various parts of the world. Tsunamis can sweep the same coasts, or even worse, invade cities that have not yet experienced a giant wave. 2 significant wars began in 2024, giving little hope for the much-desired peace. And the most frightening thing is that both wars can expand and spread to the rest of the world, and that is when humanity can face its greatest fear, the Third World War. As for Nostradamus' predictions, it is not them that we should be afraid of, but of ourselves, of humanity. Comment below what you think of Nostradamus' predictions. Do you believe them, or are they just cryptic verses that only vaguely resemble our reality? That's just up to us, right? So that you can more quickly and easily understand all these signs. We are facing difficult times when prophecies are being fulfilled, but many do not realize what is happening around the world. For this reason, I decided to offer a gift to all channel subscribers. A digital ebook, The Secret Behind the Holy Bible, so you can download it immediately. It's in the first sticky comment. In this book, I reveal all the secrets of biblical prophecies that will shock you. Don't waste time, click on the first sticky comment, as we only have a few units available, and it will soon be taken down. Access now, and guarantee your digital book. To conclude this video, I would like to share a deeply inspiring message that Jesus left for all his disciples. A message that transcends time and touches the hearts of all of us. He said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give it to you as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." These words of Jesus are an invitation to reflect on the true essence of peace, a peace that is not based on external circumstances, but that is deep, lasting, and unshakable. While the world can offer a temporary peace, often fragile and conditioned by the events that surround us, the peace that Jesus gives us is different. It is an inner peace, which remains with us even in the midst of life's storms, which strengthens us and encourages us to face any challenge with courage and serenity. When Jesus tells us not to allow our hearts to be troubled or filled with fear, he is reminding us that no matter what we face, we are not alone. Your presence, love, and peace are always with us, offering us comfort and hope. It is a promise that in the midst of chaos, we can find calm. In the midst of despair, we can find hope. And in the midst of fear, we can find courage. If this message touched your heart, I encourage you to share it with your friends and family. In times like the ones we live in, where fear and uncertainty can easily take over, this message of peace and trust can be a balm for many.